Bullets shot at MLK Library last week. We'll hear from a student who was sitting right by one of the shattered windows.
SJSU student arrested on campus due to social media threats. I'm Javen Luan. More on the story coming up next.
I'll discuss the issues San Jose students who dorm on campus face when getting their groceries.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Sky Sahani.
And I'm Adam Yoshikawa. University police are reminding students to see something, say something, following two incidents involving guns on campus. Shots were fired Thursday at the windows of Martin Luther King Jr. Library. Kelsey Valle spoke with a student who was studying right by one of the windows penetrated by a bullet.
I'm so happy you're okay and here with me today. Can you describe the moment and the events following when you first heard the gunshots?
Well, I was studying. I heard like a really loud boom above me, directly above me. It sounded like a gunshot, but I wasn't honestly sure what it could have been because I just thought there's no way that somebody would shoot all the way to the top floor because I was on the top floor. And then I looked back at my desk and I noticed all the glass all over all my stuff, all over the desk, all over the floor, all over me. I realized I have glass shards all over me, and the huge hole in the window right above me, right above where my head was, probably a foot above where my head was. I'm really anxious now and paranoid a little bit, just because now everywhere I go I think where can I hide? Where can I run? Am I vulnerable here? Is it easy for somebody to shoot me here?
What's your take on school safety and in particular safety in the library and the surrounding area that is downtown San Jose?
You know, I think we're all of us students are aware, we do live downtown. This is America, downtown areas are not the safest, we know that, but you don't think that the library is the place where it's gonna be. I never thought the 8th floor of the library was gonna be the place of where someone's gonna try and shoot me. The school is telling me I'm safe, the cops are telling me I'm safe, the RAs are telling me I'm safe, but I'm not safe. I'm obviously not safe.
San Jose police released first these photos of a person of interest in the case, and then arrested 21-year-old Joseph Vicencio as a suspect on Sunday with multiple charges, including attempted murder. Vicencio is not affiliated with SJSU.
The shots fired into the library came 2 days after the students' campus were arrested with a loaded gun. Jeronica Vinulin, live on campus with details. Jay?
The student is 17 years old and a member of the San Jose State Marching Band. He's in juvenile hall, suspended from the university while authorities investigate. University police say the unidentified student was carrying a loaded firearm, a knife, and magazines that hold 31 rounds of ammunition. Police arrested him at an unidentified spot on campus after a chain of events that started with a student at Homestead High School in Cupertino. Staff at Homestead High School contacted Sunnyvale PD about threats being made on social media. It is unclear when these threats were made and who they were made for. After getting a warrant, authorities searched his home and found an airsoft rifle, another handgun, knives, and equipment to create ammunition. The weapons were unregistered. The parts were purchased online and then crafted together to create a working pistol. Ava Fanucchi is a captain at Sunnyvale Public Safety.
A tribute to the student who came forward to report this, and it's a good reminder to students and to any individual that if they see something that they believe is to be a threat, to report it to authorities.
Sunnyvale Public Safety alerted university police.
Together they ran out the subject's name, found out what his schedule was here on campus, and our investigations team went out and made contact with him and took him into custody.
When word of the arrest got out at San Jose State, students' families voiced concern.
My parents had called me and texted me, and they were just worried about me. And I know that's scary because you don't want your parent to worry about you while you're at school, trying to get an education.
It makes me kind of angry and sad that this is becoming more and more common throughout schools in America.
The student was arrested without incident and booked on several charges, including making threats and carrying illegal firearms. Live on campus, Javen Luan, Update News.
Thanks, Jay. Parking is an ongoing issue for SJSU students and faculty every year. School administration is trying to ease the problem by opening temporary lots. Jaylene Aguilar has more on the story.
Trying to get to their classes on time, students wait in line at the park and ride lot to get to main campus. However, it quickly fills to capacity, leaving students to desperately search for any spots available.
Basically, they don't have enough parking room, so that seems to be a problem.
20,000 students drive to school, yet there are only about 5,000 parking spots available at the main campus. Another 850 spots are available near Spartan Stadium, where Jason Lee parks.
It's not too bad, but just the process of coming here and trying to park, it is a little bit of a pain.
SJSU Vice President of Finance and Administration, Charlie Foss, sent out an email early September advising students of different options to commute to campus.
You have to find creative ways, you have to find sustainable ways of going to this campus. And that means changing what you normally do.
To create more parking spaces, the university has decided to build a new parking lot here at Budwinter Field, what was once known as Speed City, where Olympic-winning track athletes once practiced, a controversial move paving over history to help parking gridlock. At Budwinter Field, Jaylene Aguilar, Update News.
Self-checkout machines at the Village Market, Ginger Cafe, and Student Union eateries on campus are being back in action after being shut down overnight on September 9th. The shutdown followed reports that students could spend dining dollars without needing to swipe their student ID cards. The new kiosk at this market gave students an option to enter a tower ID number using an on-screen keyboard, allowing anyone to input ID numbers and make unauthorized purchases.
Great to know that students can have access to my dining dollars just by having my ID number, especially since professors tend to use ID numbers as a way to be anonymous to show grades.
After being notified about the fraudulent case, school administrators disabled the key and feature immediately, and by the next morning, it was no longer an option.
The Student Union has added some new dining options for students and staff to choose from. And Macquarie Hall is offering new food with a new way to pay. Bree Sheets is live in the newsroom with dining details. Bree?
Adam, the new food on campus comes with new technologies. Here's a look at what hungry students can expect. Here at the Student Union, 2 new restaurants are open this semester, Japanese Kitchen and Tea Degree. At Japanese Kitchen, you can make your own ramen and Japanese fusion rice bowl. Tea Degree offers slushies and milk tea. It is the first ever on-campus boba.
Consistent feedback that we heard from our guests is the need for more Asian options on this campus.
But what has some students especially excited is the return of Taco Bell. The fast food favorite is back on campus after only being gone a year and being replaced by a Mexican food alternative.
I'm definitely happier that Taco Bell's back. The other like option was like fake Chipotle. It was terrible, tasted garbage, and it was not cheap. So I'm a lot happier to have Taco Bell back, you know.
Ginger Market is also a new eatery in Macquarie Hall where students are able to grab something quick to eat and order a Starbucks drink. At the market, you order and check out at a kiosk and pay with Apple Pay and card transaction only, no cash.
We really chose to go cashless at this option, at this eatery, just so we can move customers along quickly.
Although Ginger Market does not accept cash, the Student Union still does. On campus, live in the newsroom, Brianna Sheets, Update News.
Thank you, Bree. With busy schedules, students don't always have time to wait in crowded lines to grab a bite to eat. They turn to on-campus mobile food ordering service. These services allow students to skip the line and schedule orders via mobile devices. The orders are sent to their favorite restaurants on campus. This year's new app is being used called Boost, but one student isn't too pleased with the service.
So I placed an order that didn't go through, which defeats the purpose of the app because I had to wait in line for the food.
Students can use a credit card or dining dollars to pay for their food. They can also expect a new service fee on their orders while using Boost.
As if getting enrolled in classes in the first place wasn't hard enough, some students have to start all over once the semester starts. Madison Montoya has more of the struggle of getting classes the first week of school.
Several students who had enrolled back in May had their classes dropped before the first day of school this fall semester, for mainly financial reasons.
Summer notifications are the ultimate reason why students get their classes dropped, since they aren't regularly checking their accounts. By the time these students find out there's an issue, it was already too late.
Fifth-year business major Jonathan Wu experienced this misfortune this semester and took the issue into his own hands.
My classes ended up getting dropped the first week of school, and then literally that
Wednesday and Thursday, I sat in on 12 classes, and I think I got like 3 classes, but that means I wasn't full-time.
Although Wu ended up becoming a full-time student, that was not the case for everyone. Some students kept most of their classes but lost their financial aid.
I was planning on adding a class because I realized I wasn't a part-time student, so my financial aid never came in, even though I'm now a full-time student.
The bursar's office is the place to go when students are faced with this situation, and they are willing to help in any way they can.
The main reason students' classes are dropped, or they're dropped from their classes, is because of not paying their amounts due by the payment due date.
Gina is assured that this problem can be completely avoided by staying up to date with account balances and the FAFSA application. On campus, Madison Montoya, Update News.
There are short-term and long-term programs to choose from when deciding to go abroad. Many students flocked to study abroad last Thursday to learn about potential destinations. Faculty, staff, and program providers educated students who are unfamiliar with the type of study abroad programs. These programs allow students to experience different cultures and perspectives.
Studying abroad has a lot of great aspects. You experience new culture, new environments. It helps you see a different part of the world.
Yasmin Brown, hoping to study in Europe. She says it's open-minded and will help broaden her horizons and experience. The program's mission is for students to gain knowledge and skills to be dynamic members of the universal society.
It is no everyday sight to see a field of tents lining up on Tommy Smith and John Carlos lawn, but there's a carnival where you can play games and plan your future steps. Students will show up. Jessica Jimenez reports.
The Career Center Carnival was the place to be last Tuesday to learn about the services. Games, prizes, music, animals, and food added a fun touch.
Students are coming to the Career Center Carnival and are making the most out of their experience.
Fourth-year student Jasmine Sandu came here in search for an internship or a full-time job.
I definitely wish I would have taken advantage of it back when I was a freshman, because it would have been easier for me to get an internship earlier on.
She's enthused to try the online job placement tool called Handshake.
I haven't been taking advantage of Handshake, and now I definitely will be taking advantage of Handshake, looking for a full-time job for when I graduate in December.
The Career Center Director, Catherine Voss-Plaxton, says this event is a great opportunity for students to see how the center can help them with job placement.
We run the full service from the time you get on campus to the time you graduate, helping you think about how to turn your experience here into something meaningful after you graduate.
The Career Center puts on 6 to 9 job fairs per semester.
Our main goal is to attract obviously new students, freshmen and transfers, to introduce them to our services, and we have found an increase in traffic in our office because of it.
There is something for every student attending this job fair, whether it is to meet new people, make connections, or simply enjoy a break between classes, getting a close-up look at life on the farm before beginning a career in the real world. On campus, Jessica Jimenez, Update News.
San Jose students are surrounded by restaurants, but do they know proper customer etiquette? Most people go to a restaurant on a weekly basis, but sometimes customers fail to adhere to standards of respect. Andrea Lindman has been a server, a bartender, a manager in the service industry for 6 years. She says she's been disrespected more times than she'd like to admit. Tipping badly affects servers when they know they have been taking care of their customers properly.
And if something is wrong with their order, to let the server know right away. We check on you for a reason, so that if something's wrong with an order, that we can fix it right away so that you're happy and you leave happy.
According to TripAdvisor, restaurants with table service tip 15% or more on the bill, based on the quality of service. Exceptional service, 20 to 25% is customary. In major cities of the U.S., 20% is considered to be a good tip.
San Jose State is back in session, and with the new start of the new year, new problems arise. San Jose students living in Campus Village B are adjusting to the new responsibilities that come with cooking for yourself. Jacqueline Vea has the story.
Students living in the campus dorms are struggling to find places to shop for groceries. Over summer, Safeway closed. It used to be a hot spot for the students to buy groceries. Many students have been turning to Grocery Outlet to buy their products. But students are unhappy because of the limited options the store has to offer. This forces students to venture out of the school area.
Students are forced to go through great lengths to find the groceries they need, looking for alternatives such as Walmart.
Kels Phelan is a San Jose student who knows the struggle of getting his groceries.
Even though they have good prices, it's more like overstock stuff. It's just like random. So if I want to get like the necessities, I have to take an expensive Uber to Walmart.
The struggle doesn't stop with Kels either. Other students have similar struggles.
Just now starting to go to grocery outlet. This is actually like my first time like shopping here really. So yeah, but their selection isn't like that great.
Stores such as the ones mentioned are not walking distance from campus. Most students have to find alternate transportation to get their groceries. Tiffany Rodriguez, the interim manager of Transportation Solutions, offered some suggestions.
We do have some transportation options to like Target and Walmart. So other than the public transportation that students can use for free with their SmartPass Clipper, we also offer discounts for Zipcar.
Clipper cards and zip cars are some workaround solutions until and if a new grocery store opens near campus.
When we come back, Jaylene Aguilar is here with a look at arts and entertainment. Chalk artists showcase their creativity in San Jose.
Live music, dancing, and vibrant decorations in honor of the moon.
And students line up in numbers for free tickets to a rap show.
Update News returns in a moment.
And now we have Jaylene Aguilar with A&E.
So Jaylene, you had a great time at the Moon Festival and the Chalk Festival, saw some great art?
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing the art. Locals gathered this weekend to enjoy food, rides, and games. Families enjoyed many different events and shows at San Jose's Eastridge Mall. With free admission, people of all ages were welcome to celebrate at this year's Moon Festival. Live performances including a pageant show, singing, and magicians entertained audiences. Crowds filled the rows of booths browsing around for food and handicrafts. Vendors sold everything from jewelry to stuffed animals. Handcrafted lanterns were a hot item in celebration of the Moon Festival.
We've been going on rides a lot, and I think that's the most fun about this place. Everything else, it's kind of simple, but I do love seeing all the families here with their children and everything, so it's really nice.
Food vendors sold traditional Asian foods and your typical carnival foods such as grilled corn and funnel cakes. It's called the Moon Festival because family and friends come together in celebration of the moon in its brightest and roundest form, harvesting crops for a successful season. Turns out chalk isn't just for kids. Luna Park hosted its 12th annual Chalk Art Festival over the weekend. The two-day event featured local vendors and artists. The artists rented portions of the sidewalk to use as a canvas for their drawings. The art ranged from simple pieces to complex, hyper-realistic pieces. Oakland resident Margot Boho showcased her talents on the sidewalk.
If you look at like the way people live their lives these days, it's just like go, 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 work, 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 all these things, and you see that a lot of people aren't happy, and so like if people could just like slow down and take 5 minutes for themselves, you know, that's all like, that can make such a difference.
The vendors range from those selling jewelry to those telling attendees about the benefit of mass transit. On the second day of the festival, Viva Calle teamed up with Luna Park to plan a bike route throughout the streets surrounding the festival. The first few weeks of school provide tons of opportunities to get involved. There are clubs, organizations, sports, and Greek life. 300 women participated in the Fall A Rush weekend to find a sorority to join. They visited each house at San Jose State and met the current members.
So my rush experience was like super fun and exciting. Before, when I was like rushing, I was like nervous because like, I don't know, I just like didn't really see myself being a sorority because I just like really never had the confidence to do it. So like going through, I'm like so like grateful.
Throughout the 3-day process, rushies are narrowing down which house fits them best until they come to a final decision. The final matchup of which student and houses is celebrated in what is called Bid Day. The weekend concluded with 6 houses welcoming their new members for the fall semester. Who doesn't love a food truck extravaganza? The night market offered last week during Welcome Week drew out hundreds of students. It featured an array of mobile food trucks. The types of food range from savory to sweet. You could chow down some tacos, head to the ice cream shop, or grab a donut, all within walking distance. San Jose State is gearing up for Spartan Fest. The 3 concerts San Jose State hosts for students every year is set to take place October 10th. The 2 main performers have the students talking, rappers Waka Flocka Flame and Sage the Gemini, who perform the well-known songs Panoramic and No Hands.
I'm excited to just like hang out with my friends, watch some good music, listen to some good music, and just have a good time.
Tickets for the concert went on sale 2 weeks ago, and the lines were proof of the excitement. Many students started lining up early and waited in the long line. The concert is for San Jose students only. Students must show ID. And that does it for arts and entertainment. Are you looking forward to Spartan Fest, Adam?
I don't know about that long line, but I might make my way there. When we coming up after the break, Ryan Carlson catches up on sports. The diving boards in the SRAC are now closed all weekdays to students and the public. Coming to you next, I'm Adam Yoshikawa.
A historic win for our football team. Can they keep it up this season?
And what it's like to be a member of the San Jose State hockey team. Update News will be back in a smidge.
Here's Ryan Carlson with sports.
That was quite a win last Saturday.
Oh yeah, quite a win indeed for San Jose State football, taking down the University of Arkansas Razorbacks by the score of 31-24. The Razorbacks are part of the SEC and are considered a Power 5 school, which means they are part of one of the top 5 conferences in all of college football in the United States. The Spartans are back on the practice field this week, gearing up for their game against Air Force, still energized, reliving the moments that led to the upset against the Razorbacks. And with just over a minute remaining in the fourth quarter, DeJohn Packer, running back for San Jose, he scored the winning touchdown.
So I was just trusting the staff and trusting my abilities, and I just knew once I seen that hole, I knew I was going to get in that end zone. I wasn't going to let nobody stop me. Busting through those tackles, and once I seen that.
Earlier in that quarter, the Razorbacks were able to tie it up after being down 17 points, and San Jose feared the worst. But with a minute 15 to go, Josh Love hands it off to DeJohn Packer, bowls his way through the defense and waltzes right into the end zone, giving San Jose State the monumental win out in Fayetteville, Arkansas against the Razorbacks. That was San Jose State's first win against an SEC school, first road win since 2016, and first win against a Power 5 school since 2006. The list just doesn't end. The Spartans will face Air Force in their first Mountain West matchup this weekend. San Jose State University has closed its diving boards to students and the public on weekdays. The move has some people wondering why. Adam Yoshikawa has the story from the Spartan Recreation and Aquatic Center.
Lifeguards here at the SRAC tell us that students were leaving the pool sore from poor landings and wild stunts off the diving boards. One is 3 feet high, and the other diving board is over 10 feet tall.
We had to close them during the week just because a lot of people got injured, and in addition to that, was just that we had to clear the entire section here in front of the diving boards.
The move came about a month ago, creating space for aquatic team,
which was problematic, especially when the water polo team and swimming was practicing, because then we only had a small section for lap swimmers. So we just want to provide more space for them.
But according to the director of the SRAC facilities, Karen Colopy, who wished not to be on camera, there were no reported injuries on any of the diving boards. Since the start of the semester, since there are less students using it during the summer, that is why the boards are closed.
Whatever the reason for the closure, some students, such as Jamie Dodd, wish the boards were open to them.
The pool is pretty open right now. There's no one really in it, so the diving boards could be open during this time.
Both diving boards will remain closed during the weekdays for students and the public. Only the school's diving team is permitted use during the week. On campus, Adam Yoshikawa, Update News.
There are close to 30 club sports at San Jose State University, and one in particular flies under the radar in terms of popularity on campus. San Jose State men's ice hockey has been around since the 1990-91 season and is now competing at a Division II club level. Here's what it's like to be a Spartan hockey player.
Senior forward Manny Tona lives off campus as a full-time student at San Jose State and a full-time hockey player for the school team.
First time I stepped in the room, I try to lead by example. I'm not a huge, I'm not going to harp on you about the little things. I'd rather show you what to be done and you follow. So I'm more of a leader in that way than being on your back all the time and not too aggressive when it comes to that.
Not too aggressive in terms of leadership off the ice, but when it comes to being on the ice, Manny Tona enjoys the physical aspect of the game, and his teammates love him for that.
Manny's one of my favorite people on and off the ice. He's an absolute beast. His work ethic is unbelievable. It's uncanny to anyone else on the team, and he deserves a lot of credit.
This will be Manny's last season with Spartan hockey, so we asked his head coach Mike Janda what his last season of college hockey was like, and he remembers it quite well.
It goes fast. 4 years in college goes really fast. So last year I just tried to have fun. I tried to contribute as much as I can, and I played a role that I was comfortable with and tried to help the team win. So hopefully Manny can step into that role, enjoy the moment, because it's going to be gone before he knows it.
Gone before he knows it. Much like the first two games of the Spartans' regular season out in Arizona against ASU, those were two tough losses, but the team was able to get 2 games under their belt and get back to the pace of college hockey.
Spartans have 25 games left in their 2019-20 campaign, most of which are in front of their home crowd, all in a push for the national tournament next spring. So their next 2 games are their home openers this weekend against Texas A&M, Friday, Saturday night at Solar for America Ice. And that does it for sports.
Yeah, that was a good win by us, finally.
Oh, I know, yeah. Remarkable win.
And that does it for this week's edition of Update News.
From all of us here, thanks for joining us and see you next week.